All right, how are you guys doing today? Congratulations on the film. I saw it.
Good.
It's so dope. You guys are badasses, I have to say. What was it initially, like Bella, for you? What attracted you to the script? Malin, I know you were also a producer in this, so I kind of want to know, um, how it was like that experience producing it, and for you, Bella, like what attracted you to it initially?
Well, initially, I really wanted to do a fight movie. I've been wanting to do one for a good minute now, and I've been looking for projects. And here was one, it was really based in comedy, which wasn't actually what I was looking for, but I love comedy. And when I saw that Malin was signed on to be the lead, I was like, oh shit, I really with her. I was also a really big fan of Watchmen when it came out. So I was like, oh my God, that's like, that's just like so sick for me, like bucket list stuff. So I was like, oh, hell yeah. And then in general, hearing the director talk about it, hearing the freedom he was going to let us have on set, and knowing that he was so close with Malin, I knew that it was the makings to be a good movie, the makings to have a really fun work time on set. That was really important. It is always so important to me. Like, look, I love acting. I've been acting for a good minute now. But if something is making me unhappy on set or the movie's like not going to be a good vibe, then I'd rather not do it because it's not worth
Right.
me being mentally like, I'd rather just like, I'm just at that point where I'm like, no, I'd rather just work on something that it's going to be a great vibe on set. I'm going to have fun when doing it. And luckily we got that, like, right as soon as Malin walked in the room, she set the tone. It was awesome.
That's awesome. Add on to that and tell me how, as a producer, what was your involvement with it, other than, of course, being the star of it too?
Sure. Paul is, like Bella said, he's a really good friend of mine who I've known for probably 15 years. And he's always such a big, all of his work that he usually writes, this one he didn't write, but, or direct, is all lifting up women. I've always seen him. He loves women. He's all about showing their power. And I just thought this would be the perfect project to do together. And so we had it for a few years before we finally pulled the trigger and got an investor, and felt lucky enough that that the script was at a place where people were responding to it, like Bella and Alec, and it's always fun to be able to build something from the ground up, because especially when you are the lead in a film, a lot of the times that film falls on your shoulders. So to be able to be part of the creative process and putting it together, I think we see that a lot anyway. With, you see the Apatow crowd, the Scorseses, the Fairley brothers. They always use the same people. And there's a reason for that. Like Bella said, you want to get to a set and you be able to work with people that you enjoy. Every day of that set is a day in your life. And especially when you're doing something creative, you want to be able to feel safe and vulnerable enough to put your best foot forward and give a good performance. So it's been a beautiful journey. I think production is a great way to go if you can, as an actor, just kind of taking the power back and standing behind the film. And if it flops, it flops, and you gave it your best shot. You can't blame anyone else but yourself and your team, and you just keep going. But I loved it. I loved the experience, and I thought we got a great cast together. So I'm excited for
It's
the world to
awesome.
see it.
No, yeah, it definitely shows the closeness of all of you guys. Now, let's talk the physicality, because this is a fight movie, and you guys are fighting each other. I want to know a little bit about the preparation that went into that. Were you guys in pain? Did you guys get hurt? What went down?
Well, there were some bruises.
Very little.
What?
I said the preparation was very little.
It was very little. We didn't have much time. It was such a quick turnaround on this film, and Bella came in, and our we had one day, I think, maybe 2 days of a few hours of rehearsals of putting the choreography together, and then we would train with the stunt doubles, and we're doing this while we're shooting. It wasn't like we had prep time beforehand. So It was quick, but I think again, luckily Bella has some background and she's good at following choreography, and I've had some background in it too, so we were able to make it work. And yeah, there were definitely, you know, some moments of painful situations. I think more so our stunt girls really got into it. Some got hit hard and in the head. One of the girls got a concussion one day, and you know, they're badasses. They just took it.
Malin, tell me a little bit about how it was like working closely with Alec. I know in the film he's your trainer. What was that dynamic like for you?
I love that man so much. He's so funny. He's just a real he came to set ready to rumble every day. He's such a pro, you know, but also he brings so much. I think he was in Puerto Rico for a total of 3 days, and we got to shoot all of that with him. It was really quick, but he brought so much to that role. I don't know how anyone else could have done it any better. I felt so lucky to have him, but he's a great. I don't know if I'd hire him as my coach in real life. I hire him as my comedy coach. We had a blast. He's a good egg for sure.
No, I feel like this movie has such a strong message. And one of those is being that, you know, life sometimes punches you in the face and it is what it is. And sometimes it's just about how we get back up. Have there ever been times where you guys feel like life has knocked you down, and how have you brought yourself back up?
Oh, we're living in it right now, aren't we? Yeah, of course. I've had many a times where you feel like you've hit rock bottom. But I only think that makes, again, it's that saying that all of a sudden, as you grow up, sayings start to make sense. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And with the support of really great friends around, I think I've realized that the fabric of humanity is so important, of, you know, having support from each other and sticking together. And you just have to get up. But you can't move past it. You got to move through it. And that was the biggest lesson that I wanted to avoid. Was I wanted to just move past things and not have to deal. And you just move through it with your closest, and you get out the other end, and you are stronger for it.
Absolutely. I actually heard a quote the other day, where they were saying that sometimes the only way out is through, and you just kind of touched on that. So it's kind of like, oh, it's true. Now, you know, maybe it's not a fight club. Maybe I feel like there's a lot of people that have places where they blow off steam or something they like to do. What is, in your personal real life, what's that like fight club for you?
That's a good question.
I do like boxing in real life. That is my thing. I don't spar a lot. I've sparred with my coach a few times, but mainly it's hitting a bag real hard on those days that you really need it. It works. It really works. You've done some boxing too, Bella, haven't you? You're a boxer.
Yeah. I pick up the gloves and then I put them down, and I pick them back up again and then I put them down. Like a lot of things, you know, I just keep going kind of back and forth. But yeah, I do love boxing. I'm trying to think of like, God, personal fight club. Like, what is my personal?
Well, you know, Bella, I feel like you're one of the most hardworking people ever. You are constantly like juggling so many projects at the time. How do you find the time to balance it all and constantly put on more on your plate?
Just give me 1 second.
No problem.
I think she's going to get you the answer. Oh, there you go.
There's October.
Wow.
Yes, this is how we just go for it. We do it just every day. You know, you gotta just put it in the schedule. You gotta put it down on your notes. You gotta remember this shit. You gotta have a great team around you who is constantly reminding you to do this shit, and you know, keeping you updated and informed. And I think it's just, you know, so much about the people around you who are helping you really for me in my life, it's like literally running my life. So it's just my goodness. I feel like my real release though is probably when I just watch movies and TV. That's like my biggest like, oh, I'm done for the day, guys. No more work. It is time to put on a show.
Yeah.
Guys, well, thank you so much for taking the time. You guys are both so hardworking, constantly juggling a lot of stuff, and throughout a pandemic, nonetheless. It's very impressive, all the projects you guys are working on currently and in the works still to come. So kudos to you both. Hope you guys have a great day. Thank you both. Hi, you guys. First of all, I have to say congratulations, Fortune. I know you just got married, so I just wanted to get that out of the way.
Thank you. Boom. Made it official.
Now, I have to ask, is there a secret place where you guys go and let off steam? Kind of like in the movie, for you guys, it was the Fight Club. But it doesn't have to be a fight club in real life. What do you think that place would be?
Do you have a place?
Korean saunas.
For real?
Mm-hmm. I love
Okay.
a gym bomb. I love a gym bomb. When I'm on the road, I always look for them.
Like where everyone's naked?
In the wet area, yes, but when you're in the dry saunas, no. Also, it is, separated by sex. So if you're naked, it's only other, women on that side, and then the other side is men. So that's been the hardest part about this quarantine, is not being able to go to the Korean sauna and get a body scrub and all of that fun thing, and just sit in, hot water and just commune with other women. But yeah, that's what I do to, let off steam, is, either that or sleeping.
Yeah.
Watching Korean dramas is basically. I get too stressed out. I watch Korean dramas because, or if I get real sad, because it's really hard to be angry when you're reading subtitles, because your brain, watching action, my brain can only go, you can only do this.
Yeah.
So sometimes when I get overwhelmed, I'm like, Korean sub.
I was gonna ask, when you guys first read the script, was it an immediate yes for both of you?
I read the script and I really liked it and I wanted to do it, but my special was coming out and my schedule was pretty insane and I had this tiny little window and I was just like, oh, I really want to do this and I don't know how it's possible. And our producer Ash Christian, who unfortunately has passed, I mean, he moved mountains to make it happen. I mean, I can't believe what they did to condense it in a way where I could still be a part of the film. So I'm just really grateful because, a lot of times, with every movie, there's so many moving parts and there were so many actors' schedules to coordinate, and I'm just really lucky it worked out because it was a really cool experience, and I certainly did not think that would be the last thing we would get to film, movie-wise this year.
What was it like working with Malin and Bella? And talk to me a little bit of, Malin is also a producer, so what was her involvement like?
It was great for us because, we could always talk to her. Because, sometimes when you're working on anything, you feel like there's like a disconnect between, the actors and, everyone behind camera. So for us, since she was on both sides, she always made herself available and she was always communicating with us. Like, listen, if there's anything, if there's something in the script you want to change, if there's choreography you want to change, costume, anything, like she said, if there's anything that you're uncomfortable with, please talk to me, please tell me. And also she was just really supportive of us. We would, if we were in between scenes, she would, if we needed help running lines, we'd run lines together. So she was always really good at making sure that we got everything that we needed. And, and even when we were offset, we would go to dinner or, if there were the days off that we had, she would try to plan things for us to go hang out because she really did want us to feel like that we, that we were friends.
Right.
And, the long offset is, the more trust we could build and more playing that we could do on set together.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that.
She was great.
I love that. Now, both of you guys are comedians, and I feel like, in times like these, do you feel a certain pressure to be that lighthearted person for the, other people in your life? How has this whole thing, how have you been like for you guys?
I know for me, I think sometimes it kind of goes back to like, with Daily Show, and people say, that with everything that's going on politically, sometimes people go like, well, do you feel a responsibility to do this or to do that? I think as comics and as performers, we have to be allowed to be people first. So as hard as, the quarantine is for other people, it's also hard for us.
Right.
30 million people lost their jobs. None of my friends are touring. So touring has stopped, shooting has stopped. So people, they're looking to comics and actors and other entertainers to be their beacon. But a lot of us are having a hard time. A lot of our working. I couldn't tour anymore. I was supposed to go to Australia. I was supposed to go to all these other places. A lot of us lost a lot of work. So I think sometimes people just have to acknowledge, as much as, what we do is a bright light for them, what we do is also a bright light for us. And right now, a lot of us are having a hard time. So please watch our stand-up, download our specials. Please do that.
Yeah.
Buy them because, Fortune, you probably toured like what, 45, 50 weeks a year?
Yeah, I mean, it's a big part of my life, and I had a whole 6 months of shows sold out. After my special came out, and my first show was supposed to be March 15th, and everything, got canceled or postponed. But I mean, I think the difference is that normally entertainment, especially comedy, is foolproof. If there's a recession, it's people are still turning to comedy to get through that. And so it's something that we've been able in tragedy after 9/11. The SNL is like, it's okay to laugh again. You always look to comedians, to performers, to bring levity. And I think this was the first time in our history where our community goes, we can't help you. We're shut down too, and that's never happened before. And so, I think all of us kind of had to lick our wounds and deal with the sadness of different losses, not only in, jobs or friends, actual losses of people.
Yeah.
But then I think, we've been in this long enough, 7 months now, that we're all finding our way to make people laugh again, be it online or virtual shows. And so we're slowly finding our way back into
or
it.
telling jokes in the back of an old pickup truck in a parking lot in Long Island City.
Yeah.
So
thank you guys for being so honest and open about that, because I feel like people don't talk about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? For you guys as entertainers, it's like people forget that you're people too, and it's like we all have bad days, and to wrap this up, I think that's what was so great about this film, is that the lesson behind that sometimes life punches you in the face, but it's about how many times you get back up, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely an empowerment movie for, it's a fun movie, but there's a lot of heart there, and you really see somebody find their way and find their voice, and yeah, I mean, things can suck, but you just gotta keep in those hits and then find your power, get back up.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys both so much for taking the time to talk to us. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
have a great
for sure.
rest of the day.
Thank you.
Take care, stay healthy and safe. Bye, you guys.
You too, bud.